Aspas, arguably the greatest Valorant player of all time, just played his worst tournament ever. And Heretics, a team that many people expected to be in playoffs, have bombed out of the event. The Swiss stage at Masters Toronto was full of surprises, so let's get into it. The opening weekend of Masters Toronto showed us some truly shocking performances from both MIBR and Heretics. After a 13-1 loss on Pearl and an abysmal defensive half on Icebox, Heretics were immediately knocked into the elimination round by Paper Rex. And if I'm being honest, Heretics looked like they didn't even want to be there, and unfortunately they never actually recovered from this loss. Despite playing slightly better against Wolves on Tuesday, it still wasn't enough to beat China's third seed.
It is just a time thing and a massive humbling right now, because obviously this is one of the most embarrassing results I think for us since we started the team. Literally, actually is, for sure, the most embarrassing thing. So it's another huge humbling. We got one on kickoff. This is even bigger. And we learned from the one in kickoff. We need to do the same here.
Wolves have honestly looked solid so far, and they carried that momentum into their match against BLG, eliminating their domestic rivals to earn a spot in playoffs. I got a feeling that something's right. Awesome. Wolves are winning tonight. This run by Wolves has been hype, and they'll be going up against RRQ first in playoffs, but we need to talk about Aspas. What happened to our GOAT? Aspas looked nothing like himself, and to be fair, everyone except Verno didn't really look too great for MIBR at this event. Now, I don't think many people expected MIBR to just go on and win the whole event or anything like that, but they look nothing like what we saw from them back in VCT Americas. And perhaps the most shocking thing of all is that Aspas, of all people, has exited the event with the second lowest rating next to his IGL Artzine. He went -28 across the 4 maps that he played. Even Nats managed to get more kills than him despite only playing 2 maps. This was a very uncharacteristic showing from Aspas, and I know there are Brazilian fans out there that are freaking out right now, but just to feed them some copium for a moment, Aspas's teams have historically struggled at the second event every year, but then bounce back at champions. Anyway, their opening day opponents, Texture and gen.g, have looked absolutely incredible so far. Despite being the second seed from their region, gen.g genuinely looked like a team that could win this entire event. They still had the same core that were finalists in Madrid and that won Masters Shanghai, but Ash and Foxy9 are also matching their pace. gen.g looks terrifying, and I genuinely feel bad for Fnatic. They got that nice playoff bye, only to get matched up with gen.g in the first round of the bracket. That is rough. Literally a repeat of Masters Shanghai last year. But the other team that 2-0'd their way to playoffs was, of course, Sentinels. Despite some slow starts in their matches against Wolves and BLG, the North American hopefuls managed to steady the ship and get things done in front of their fans. After the match, we asked Sentinels IGL John Cutie who he wanted to play in the opening round of playoffs, and here's what he had to say.
I don't really care, to be honest, because that's not like up to us, but it would be funny if we play XLG. We're like doing the Chinese gauntlet, it would be kind of funny. And yeah, I don't mind as long as it's not G2, just because like it's just always fun to play other regions, and we play G2 all the time, so I'm sure we're gonna meet them like in playoff anyway. But yeah, I'd rather play other teams just for new experiences.
Well, John managed to get his wish. XLG was given first pick of the Swiss teams, and they actually picked Sentinels as their opponent for the first opening round of playoffs. So I guess we'll see if John and Sen can take down the third and final Chinese team. Another big storyline heading into the event was that Liquid was forced to play their opener against BLG with Penny as a sub because Nats was dealing with visa issues. And although they lost to China's second seed, the Canadian native delivered for Liquid, especially with his Phoenix play on Haven.
They're finding the timing as it now comes down to Penny. It's been a while since he's been on a master stage like this. A curveball in hand, but he doesn't need it!
Real ones know that Penny has always been a beast, and he can easily hold his own in Tier 1. But what we didn't expect was for Liquid to move to a 6-man roster even after Nats made his return to the lineup. Penny played Jet for them on Icebox against MIBR and stepped up once again, while Serial subbed back in to help close out the series on Sunset with his Cypher. But one thing that wasn't surprising was that Nats came back into the team and didn't miss a beat.
Ball comes through. Penny has his head ripped off. Cortezia finds those shots. And on the spike is Verno. He's gotten it to half. Are they going to know he's going to be there? They're too busy dealing with the rest, but Nats!
It feels good. It's a bit awkward, I would say, honestly, because I just arrived day and play. It's first time ever for me, honestly. If like before, from let's 2021, it was like 7 days or 10 days before the matches. Before it was like 5 days. Now I'm actually beating my record 2 nights and 1 full day before the match. So I mean, I'm enjoying this challenge. And yeah, it's just cool.
In the final elimination match of the Swiss stage, Nats went up against PaperX for the first time in his career, and this match delivered. PRX were up 12-8, but Liquid fought their way back to overtime off the back of a Yoru fake clone from Camo, and one of the most disgusting aces you will ever see.
Running out of time with the A site open, so won't get punished. Also doesn't spot out anyone at all, including Kiko. Showstopper now invested as Jinx flying at him, and he's dead. As it explodes erupts beneath his feet! Keiko looking for the ace, and he has it!
Liquid closed out split, but PRX bounced right back, taking Sunset in dominant fashion to force map 3 on Lotus, but from there, things really got out of hand for Liquid. They were down 1-11 at the half, and despite winning the second half pistol round, PRX won the bonus, pushing the score to what seemed like an insurmountable 3-12 deficit. But Liquid gave us one of the craziest fake comebacks we have ever seen, forcing overtime only to lose the map immediately after. PRX certainly gave Alex and Mindfreak a little bit of a heart attack, but they managed to snag the final spot in playoffs and set themselves up with a date against G2. PRX notably picked G2 in playoffs at Masters Shanghai, only to lose to them. G2 also got the best of them at Champions late last year, so this is a pretty big revenge match for the Pacific number 3 seed. The Swiss stage at Masters Toronto has absolutely delivered, but the real tournament starts now, and we'll make sure to keep you updated with everything that happens.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.